Hey guys, it's me, it's Alan. It's still getting a little weird for me saying that, so. Today I just wanted it to be a fun video because I'm getting ready to go out of town for a couple of days, and you're gonna get to see that vlog. It's just, not sure how good it's gonna be, but hopefully you guys enjoy that. I just wanted today just to be kind of a fun thing. So I'm just going to talk about, everybody knows I'm going through a divorce. Well, part of that is rebuilding your life, afterwards. And one of the things I'm trying to rebuild is my music collection because I'm a very music loving person. And, I'm just going based on what I can find cheap and, flea markets, garage sales, Amazon when I have to, record stores, when I can afford to, you know, because yes, we still have one of those in town. Um, and I do love to support them because they are wonderful. They are local. If you're ever in Terre Haute, Headstone and Friends, they're wonderful people. They really are just a great place to go if you like to have physical copies of music, whether it's record or CD or tape. They can usually find what you're looking for. That they also have things like incense and posters and candles and all kinds of neat little jewelry and goodies. So I mean, there's a lot there. That you can go and buy. They aren't. And I'm not being paid to endorse them. I just you know I like to shout out a good local business here in town if I can. But back on topic. I wanted to show you some of what I've been grabbing because I've been grabbing a lot of CDs. That's my preferred medium. It's just what I grew up on, most of the time. Yes, I had some tapes. I never had anything like 8-track or my mom, she had the vinyl, but I never had that. So, but CD is what I had, and I hope that you enjoy this video. I'm going to start with my all-time favorite, and that is Paula Abdul. Now, those who know me in real life know I have had a crush on her since I was 11 years old, and the very first time I heard her. So, at the time, she's about, 16 years older than me, so, I get it, but, yeah, I realize, think about that at 11, 12, just think, ooh, pretty, but, she's always been my favorite, always will be, you know. But um, having said that, I'm gonna try and show you the best I can the albums that I have so far. Here's the first album, Forever Your Girl. The sticker on here is from Headstone. As I said. Um, so I did get this one local. Um, you know, um, and I can say, it is the album, of course, that, like a lot of people who fell for Paula, that just got us hooked, And then I also have the single version for Opposites Attract Straight Up, which is, like a radio copy, found at a flea market, and it's in real good shape. And then I've got the Shut Up and Dance mixes, which is a really great remix of Forever Your Girl's album, with a medley mix, and, it's just a lot of fun to listen to. Now, here's where her discography actually gets pretty interesting. Most of you will recognize this. This is Spellbound, her second album, her second studio. Now, what most of you don't realize is this is also Spellbound. Now, you may say, well, it's the same album. except for one nice little thing. On the back of this one, there is a bonus track, and it is done, if you can see. And I don't know how well you can see that, but if you can screen capture it, you can see it. There is a different track order, and at the very end, there's a song called Good Night, My Love, which means that the one that has Good Night, My Love, this one, is the international version. This is the one that was released in Europe, Japan, and Australia. They got bonus tracks that we never got. And this is actually the case with a lot of our favorite artists over here. If you have a favorite artist, there's a chance that at least one of their albums has an international version which has additional tracks. So if you are a huge fan of everything that they do, you might want to look into grabbing some international versions of those albums so you can get those additional songs that you couldn't or you didn't know you could get, especially if you're a big fan of 80s and 90s pop, R&B. A lot of us did not know this because the internet was kind of in its infancy at the time. And this is her the last actual studio album that she did. This is Head Over Heels. And now understand all three of these at least went platinum. Many of them, sold way, 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 way more than that. Now this is the US version, but there is an international version, and I am looking for it. Because the international version, instead of stopping at track 14 with Cry For Me, has 3 additional tracks, and the track listing is, of course, different. But the international version actually has 17 tracks. So they got additional songs. On top of it, yes, I am looking for both of the greatest hits, versions. I am looking for the Randy Jackson Music Club so I can get Dance Like There's No Tomorrow. And then after that, I am officially done with getting the Paula Abdul stuff because I will have everything she's recorded and released. I don't know what she's got stocked away in the studio, that's never been released. Who knows? Finding out, Tupac had, a bazillion songs, and Michael Jackson had a bazillion songs, and Prince had a bazillion songs, that they had recorded and hadn't released yet, that either were partially finished, not finished, written but not recorded. There's a lot of music out there that we still don't know about, and we're learning all the time. So hopefully one of these days Paula does another album, because I would love to see that happen. But then I'm just going to go through some of the other albums I have, and just talk about a few songs. A lot of these I have found, at flea markets and yard sales. I've only had to buy, thank goodness, a few things online. But this is one that I couldn't believe it when I found it at a flea market, because as a kid and as a teenager, I remember just being enthralled by the video for this song. And yeah, I know, unfortunately, with the history of this group, not the best individuals, it turns out, but, that doesn't mean the impact of the song isn't still there. Sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist and realize, obviously, certain artists just are not that good at people, but the art they left was still really good. And that's PM Dawn. This is the Bliss album. And this particular one, if you remember, is the one that has Looking Through Patient Eyes. Sorry, my mind was drawing a blank on me, and I had to look myself, Um, but I just remember that video coming on MTV back in the day, and just being so in love with this song because it just kind of hits at the core of your heart. It's one of those kind of songs, where it's like, ooh, I kind of understand how you felt, writing something like that. Like I get that. It's one of those kind of songs where it gets you in the feels. You know. Now and here, just to show you, yes, I like a lot of rock. I like a lot of hip hop. I like R&B pop. Like I go all over. Alternative everything. But Garbage version 2.0. I am looking for the first album or any additional albums. It's just is the only one so far I found from them. And it's got I think I'm paranoid when I grow up. Special, Push It, and overall just a really fun album. But it's great for when you're working through those depressed moods, and you need something to kind of help your mind make sense of what you're feeling. To have that. I think alternative has always been really good at that. Is working through feelings. And then TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool. I am looking for the first album. Ooh on the TLC tip. I don't know if I ever want to get Fan Mail because it was not my favorite album. I kind of took, when that album dropped and, then they started having the feud, and Lisa kind of, split for Honduras, and of course we know what happened. And it looked like it was kind of the end of TLC, you know, I prefer to remember the first two albums, because it wasn't too long after Fan Mail that she passed on, and rest in peace, Lisa. Because we still remember you. And yes, I am a big fan. Another one that I have, Adele, 21. God, this woman can really sing. And yes, I do like some silly dance tracks, but Real McCoy, Another Night, and I can't help it. I've always loved a good booty shaking, dance album. That's part of my taste, as I like such a wide variety of things. Yeah. That, I gotta do, I gotta be able to dance, I'm not a good dancer, especially not anymore, it's been too long. I'm out of practice. I'm out of shape. So, I'm trying to get back in, but it's not easy. Another one, the B-52s. This is a greatest hits compilation. Uh, songs for a future generation. It's their greatest hits. And I will say this, as someone who didn't get to have their albums growing up, but loved Love Shack and Rome. Just got later getting to really, I kind of heard Rock Lobster, but that was outside that. I had never really gotten into their discography, and I will say that, getting to finally listen to some more of their stuff, I will say this, probably one of my favorite songs that they've done outside of those three is Private Idaho. And that kind of surprised me. I didn't expect to be, like it so much, but it is just such a good song. And they are a very unusual group. You have to kind of be really in the mood, for something unusual and different when you're listening to this. You kind of have to be in that kind of weird place where you want to create something really odd and but it's just so trippy that you can't help but like it. It's great for when you're in weird moods. And of course, being part of the LGBT community, QI plus community, I should say. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble talking. Uh, Gotta give it up. Lady Gaga, the thing. Of course, I want the rest of her stuff. Um, Love her, great singer. Just a lot of fun to listen to her. You know, uh, I don't know how else to put it. She's probably my favorite artist that has come out in the last 10 or so years. Of anybody who's come out new, she's been the one that's kept me from just saying to heck with all the new music, because she's done just so much stuff I've liked. And I know people are going to rag on me and think, oh, you're silly for liking this, but I can't help it. I do. This particular artist, I'm always going to have an appreciation for him, because he was one of the first to really get me into hip hop into the late 80s, in the late 80s. When it came, he was, so I'm always going to appreciate him. I may not agree with him on everything, but I appreciate him, and I have nothing but love for him because of it. Because he opened me up to a genre I hadn't really listened a lot to. I'd heard some stuff from, the Fat Boys or Grandmaster Flash or LL Cool J, Run DMC, and Salt and Pepper. But I hadn't really been but I hadn't really got into somebody who's like could put on this crazy show and just, it just to me it kind of blew my mind as a kid. Like, oh wow, this is somebody who's new and different and he's not trying to make me afraid of him. He's trying to say, let's have fun, and I don't think that's a bad message to send. You can argue skill or whatever you want, but I'll always have an appreciation for him because of what he did to help so many of us find hip hop, because, until really him, it hadn't blown up truly into the mainstream. And that's MC Hammer. And yes, I do want to get the first album, which is Let's Get It Started. I do want to get the fourth album, The Fucking Headhunter. And I even want to get the fifth album, Active Duty. And maybe I'll look into his other stuff after that. But, I just want to throw up some love his way. Now, this artist, has been a childhood favorite, has always been a favorite. And fortunately, I don't have a lot of his stuff right now, but I plan on getting all of his stuff because I just love him, and always will have a love and appreciation for him. Weird Al Yankovic. This is the master of parodies. He is, if you do not know Weird Al, what rock have you been living under? But the only one I've really been able to find so far has been Poodle Hat, as far as a physical copy. I'm looking for all of the other albums. I'm looking for all the greatest hits compilations. He's got something like, I want to say like 22 CDs, 15 which are studio albums, 7 that are greatest hits compilations, and that's not including, I think he did a big box set, where it's all of his studio albums put in one box set. But so it's, but I just have nothing but love for him, and I just, want that to be known. And the next artist, of course, was also one of those early, those pioneer guys, that, he wasn't, the gangsta, and he wasn't, probably the number one, guy when it came to everything he could, but he always had good skill. He always had a good flow, and he always had, just my love, because I always thought he was really a lot of fun to listen to. And that's Will Smith, also known as DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And I've got, a greatest hits compilation for the DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince because, fortunately, when I've been looking for classic hip hop, the albums are really expensive to find classic hip hop albums, especially in CD. I do not know why. But I mean, you try to find Run DMC, the Beastie Boys, well, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince, Ice Cube, Ice T, Dre, Snoop, any of their early albums are ridiculously expensive anymore. It is just ridiculous, and it's just like, oh goodness, I'm going to have to do a lot of these when it comes to hip hop, a lot of the greatest hits things because it's just not feasible. It's just not, you know, right now I just don't have that kind of money to be spending on everybody's individual albums. When I can go for individual albums, I will, but like there'll only be certain ones that I get to do that. I can probably name probably 5 or 6 more albums where I'm going to go for the albums, and then after that, it's probably greatest hits compilations, just because that's the best I can do budget wise. Unless somebody wants to sit there and say, "Hey, look, I have this huge box of CDs. I don't listen to anymore. I'm not that far away from you. And when I come into town, I'd love to give them to you. Like somebody wants to do that. Hey, great. If not, I fully understand. Like, it's not like I don't have a decent sized music collection. It just I'm such a huge music collection guy. Like. I'm somebody who, yes, I'm going to back them up digitally. I'm going to sit there and make sure they sit on my shelf and I take care of them, and that they last as long as possible. But they're listened to and they're appreciated, and so understand that. But can't I'm looking also for her, but I'm looking mostly for her older albums right now. I'm not, her newer albums haven't spoken to me, in many years, but I love her stuff from the 90s. So I'm trying to look for those albums first. But I am looking for Mariah Carey, and right now I've got 2 full studio albums, and then this one that I found at a garage sale with just a blank case, which is the Merry Christmas album. But I have right now a Daydream Music Box. So, I mean, it is what it is there, but I am, of course, looking for the first album, the second album, those first 2 albums, Mariah Carey and Emotions, and then I am looking for Butterfly, and Rainbow as well. And then of course, I've always been gonna have love for my British girls, the Spice Girls. Yes, I am a huge Spice Girls fan. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I met them years and years and years ago at a concert. They are the sweetest ladies. Their moms are real sweet. They're real sweet. Like it's really a lot of fun. They're really, really wonderful women, and I just, I'd love to get a chance to meet with them again if any of them ever happen to be this way. I don't know if that'll happen, but one can always hope. I'm not going to be ashamed to be a fan of this man's music. You can say what you want about his life, but musically, the man was a genius, in many, many regards. And that's Michael Jackson. And yes, I am looking for Thriller. I am looking for Off the Wall. I am looking for Bad. I am looking for the. I do have Dangerous. I do have History. Um, I am looking for those three albums. You know, Thriller and Bad are probably the two more premier albums. That I want. Off the Wall's kind of that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Because I've never really had Off the Wall before, so I don't know, really connect to the songs as much because it was his first album and I was so young when it came out. That it really doesn't have the weight to me that Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, and History do. But you know, I have nothing but love for him, and that also means I have nothing but love for his sister Janet. And yes, this is the first three albums. Control, Rhythm Nation, and Janet. I am looking for Design of a Decade. I am looking for Velvet Rope. I am looking for All for You. I am looking for everything that she's done after that point as well. But again, Nothing But Love. I know these are kind of one-hit wonders. But I can't help but still have nothing but love and respect for those hits, and that's why I went ahead and got them. Plus they were cheap. So, Dee-Lite and Hathaway. And if you know Dee-Lite, you know Groove is in the Heart. If you know Hathaway, you know the song What Is Love. And you can say, oh, they're silly songs or whatever, but they're fun to dance to, and they honestly are better artists than they got credit for. I'm not saying they were great or they deserved, 20 albums, in their discography. Just, they were a lot of fun. Okay. Sorry, a few of my CDs tipped over. But next up is Savage Garden. And yes, I have both CDs. But, they're a pretty good group, honestly like them. They had some good songs, and I'm getting more and more into them as, time goes on. Next up, Gloria Stefan. Now, the only problem with having a greatest hits compilation is it turned out this particular one does not have one of her hits. And it's Live for Loving You, which was the first song she released after her tragic accident where she lost her leg. And I know she's kind of gone on to Cuckoo Land, but musically, I still love her stuff. I don't agree with her politics a lot of times, but because she kind of goes off into some weird places, and at least from what I've heard, it's kind of like liking Roseann at this time period, like how do you do that, but musically, I can still appreciate what she's done, and then I have the first three albums from this person, Jennifer Lopez. And honestly, I've always liked Jennifer Lopez as an artist. I've liked Jennifer Lopez from her early days on In Living Color as a fly girl. Yeah. Some of you do know that, some of you don't. If you did not know, yes, her, Rosie Perez, and Carrie Ann Alba all started as fly girls. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think Rosie was the one who originally put the group together but left by the end of season 1. And then I think Carrie Ann is the one who took over as the choreographer for the group. Yeah, I think that's the story as I've heard it, but I don't know. You know, you can drop some info in the comments if you guys are better informed on that issue than me, because I would love to know. You know, because if I remember right, that was what happened. You know, it was Rosie got cast in some movies and ended up having to leave by the end of season 1. But she was originally a fly girl. I think she was one of the ones putting the group together. But this group went through a lot of changes in their history. But you know, still nothing but appreciation for them. Destiny's Child, and yes, all 3 of the first 3 albums are here. You know, I don't know if I can't remember if they did anything else. You know, past that, but honestly, a lot of stuff. You know, it was good. You know, and I kind of miss seeing them as a group. You know, I know Beyonce's done her own thing, solo for a long time, and I have nothing but respect for her. But I kind of miss the group. It'd be nice to see them do at least one more album together. Really would. Another group, I know I'm probably going to get ragged on this in the comments, but I can't help it. I've always just loved them. And I do hope to get the 3rd album. But Ace of Base. And, as I said, I have the first 2 albums, The Sign and The Bridge. People remember, The Sign for, obviously, The Sign and, All That She Wants and Don't Turn Around. But, remember The Bridge for Beautiful Life. But they also had a 3rd album, which was a pretty decent-sized hit. I don't know how well it did. Chart placement wise in the US, but Cruel Summer in '98. I remember that because I actually had the CD back in the day. But since it's gone. But it was just honestly one of my favorites. They were just it was a shame that they broke up, but they at least got a few some stuff together. They didn't. It wasn't a case where they didn't really like each other by the time they got done recording their first album. And so they never did anything else. At least. Okay, and then I'm gonna, then of course I have nothing but love and respect for this woman, Cyndi Lauper. I got shouted out to her. You know, because this woman is incredible. Yes, I do want to get some more of her stuff, especially True Colors and Bring You to the Brink. Those are the 2 albums I really want to get a hold of. I'd like to get, of course, 12 Deadly Sins and a few other, things from her, but, just not the country album. Sorry. Sorry, Cyndi. If somehow you see this, I love you. It's just one of those things where country and me don't get along. It's a PTSD level issue, it's, where I just can't handle it. And I will never be into country music because of it. But I appreciate you, and, I'm happy, I'm just so happy, when you opened that shelter in New York for LGBT youth. That was really cool of you. And I just want you to know that. And then, somebody I got into not when I was younger, but actually as have gotten older and started rediscovering stuff that I missed because I was young in the 80s. But that's Samantha Fox. And this beautiful woman, finding out, she's part of the community, and, realizing, hey, yeah, she may have been just a silly 80s pop star, but she was a damn good silly 80s pop star. She really was. She was really somebody who, she sang with passion. She sang, with a range and intensity, in her stuff, and just really come to appreciate her. And then probably last but certainly not least, and the main reason why is because just like Paula, I've got a lot of her stuff, so far, and that's Madonna. And right now I'm at 6 albums. I'm Breathless, Ray of Light, Erotica, The Immaculate Collection, MDMA, and True Blue are the ones I have so far. And the True Blue is kind of neat because it comes from the Drowned World Tour in 2001. It has the sticker even to prove that. And yes, I want to eventually get all of her albums. This is somebody, where I definitely want to get everything. Just like Paul Abdul, just like Michael and Janet, and I don't want just a greatest hits, couple of greatest hits compilations and I'm done. I want everything, beat tracks and everything else, because when I listen to them, I want to listen to everything. Like I want to be able, and it's just, I grew up on Madonna. That's just how I am, Anyway, I know this video is definitely a lot longer than I thought it would be. I thought I'd be able to get through this in maybe 15 to 18 minutes. And here I am almost at 40. I mean, and I'm still a couple minutes shy, but anyway, the next time you see me, I'm hoping to do an edited video and show you guys, me out at the lake, and I'm going to show you the lake, and hopefully, I'll be able to show you some fish and maybe some wildlife. I mean, I don't expect to see anything big or anything out there, but, maybe a few squirrels or raccoons, but, who knows? Maybe I'll run into a snake or, a turtle or something, you just never know. Maybe a beaver or some Canadian geese, sometimes they're out there too. But I'm gonna go and enjoy my weekend. I am going to try to vlog some of it, and hopefully sometime next week I will have it posted. Anyway, love you. Bye.